Ho, ho, ho! Merry Hackmas. And thanks for tuning in to the QWERTY Sage channel. Today is day 7 of the Advent of Cyber 2023 challenge on TryHackMe. Today we're going to go through log analysis. Today's lesson is called "'Tis the Season for Log Chopping." To take revenge for the company demoting him to regional manager during the acquisition, Tracy McGrady installed the Cryptoid Miner, a malware he downloaded from the dark web on all workstations and servers. Even more worrying and unknown to McGrady, this malware includes a data stealing functionality which the malware author benefits from. The malware has been executed and now a lot of unusual traffic is being generated. What's more, a large bandwidth of data is seen to be leaving the network. Forensic McBlue assembles a team to analyze the proxy logs and understand the suspicious network traffic. All right, so let's get into it. Looks like the learning objectives for this one today is, in this task we're going to be doing looking at log files and their importance. We've done that before in a couple in a task or two before. We're going to understand what a proxy is and break down the contents of a proxy log. We're going to build Linux-like command skills to parse logs, entries, and manually, and analyze a proxy log based on typical use cases. All right. So let's talk about what a log file is. Basically, a log file is a list of entries that this proxy server is collecting. What a proxy server is going to do for us is it's going to sit normally on the edge of a corporate network or whatever, and it's going to look at all the traffic coming into and out of an enterprise corporate business network. And it's going to log that information in case there's a security breach or some type of compromise or anything. A security investigator, network engineer, someone in the IT department or whatever can review the log files and try to determine what's the problem, what was compromised, was there a compromise, is the network working, things like that. So this example here, we have an IP address, have a timestamp, HTTP request and a response code and a URI and the data response and a user agent. All right, what is a proxy server? We just kind of talked about what a proxy server was. Indicators of compromise. So using proxy logs, you can kind of figure out if a breach happened or not. Some of the techniques used in the breach could be downloading a malicious binary, like someone downloading a virus from a random website. In this example, it's evil.com/malicious. You could see something like that in the logs and say, what's this site? Oh, look it up and determine, this site is associated with a real nasty virus or hack that's going on. Data exfiltration, high count of outbound bandwidth due to file upload. So for example, sometimes when a machine is compromised, sometimes the end goal of the hacker is to take that data and steal it. How do they steal it? They have to offload it some type of way. So normally when you see tons of traffic going to like OneDrive or Google Drive or something, and it's not normal business behavior, you can say, dig into that because that could be an example of exfiltration. Continuous C2 connection. A high count of outbound connections to a single domain in regular intervals. A lot of times when machines are compromised, sometimes they'll call out to a server. Command and control. That's what C2 stands for. CC, command control. So there's a server and it controls the infected computer that has the virus that's been breached. So a call out home, sometimes it could be 5 minutes, sometimes it could be whatever. And some of them are sophisticated. Sometimes it's not a single domain. So we're going to access the data set. The VM, which are already open, contains proxy file log and this directory. Let's just change to that directory, desktop, artifacts. Yeah, we do. So we had the log file here. You could skip this section if you're familiar. Let's see, Linux commands. All right, we'll just kind of go over these Linux commands real quick. So the cat command pretty much prints out the contents of the file to your terminal. This is a long file, but the less command does the same thing, except with the less command, well, you can use this to scroll up and down through the logs too. Sometimes when you have long files, like this one probably is, your terminal will only hold so many lines in the screen. You hit Q to quit. Head. So the head command is going to print the first couple lines in the file, and you can specify a number. Let's go with 5. So these are the first 5 lines in the file. And if there's a heads, like any good coin, there is a tails. And this prints the last 5 lines of the file. WC. WC is going to give you a word count. So if we do WC, it'll give us a word count. So this is the number of lines in the file. This is the number of words in the file. Well, sequence of characters without a space, really. It's not necessarily words. Most of the time, people would probably ignore that part. This is the number of characters in the file. Most people normally don't care about that too much. Normally, when you're running this command, you care about the lines, which is why they have this -L. So that's going to tell us just the number of lines in the file. 49,000 and some change in lines. So it's a huge file. The NL command is going to number the lines, so it's going to print the output, but it's also going to tell us the line number. And you can use that in conjunction. Actually, I read over this. I give you an example of using that command in conjunction in a second. Chopping down the proxy log. So the proxy logs have this format, which we've seen up here. So it all follows the same format. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the cut command using the delimiter and F for the position. We're going to take each line and we're going to split it into pieces. And we're going to determine where to cut based on the delimiter. And in most of these cases, the delimiter is going to be a space. So how do we denote a space? By 2 quotation marks with the space in between. So we cut the space and we want the first field. In the first field of all of these logs, it's going to be the timestamp. So it should spit out a bunch of timestamps, assuming that I actually put the file name at the end of the command. And there we go. Cut the field 1, 3, and 6. So this is going to give us, should give us the timestamp, the domain import, and the URI. 1, 3, 6. And it didn't give us the URI, it gave us the status code. Yeah, because the URI is 5, not 6. All right. For the user agents, you see there's spaces in here. So using space as a delimiter isn't the best route to go. So the best thing to do is to use, they all have started in with quotation marks. So we're going to use the quotation marks in that case to get the delimiter out. So no other part of the log has quotation marks except for the user agent. So if we cut on the user agent, everything to the left would be field 1. Everything to the right of the ending quotation mark will be field 3. So we're going to look for field 2. And there we go. We have all the user agents. Pipe commands. So this talks about grep and it also talks about pipe commands, looks like. So in this case, we want to get the first 5 connections made by this IP. So what we're going to do is grep. Grep stands for something regular expression in print. Basically what it's going to do is when you grep, it's going to go through these logs and it's going to print out only the lines that contain what is after the grep. So we only have that. We want the first 5 connections made by this IP. So we're going to use a pipe operator. And basically what the pipe operator is going to do, the pipe operator is going to take the output of the command before the pipe and use it to feed the input of what's after the pipe. So whatever the output generated by the grep is going to give us the first 5 lines of what we got from the grep. So that's grep. Get a list of unique domains accessed by all workstations. So the first thing we would want to do, we would want to use the cut command to get the list of domains. So we want the list of domains, which would be whatever field. Let's do this. I'm just gonna copy this to another page. That way I can kind of go back and forth between it a little bit quicker. Uh, so the first thing we're doing is we want to just get the domain. So the domain import is line number 3, but it's separated by a colon. So we're gonna field 3. Then we're gonna take the output of that and we're gonna cut it on the colon. And on that, we want field 1. And I need to put the file name at the end of the command. Actually, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to cut, I want the first cut to be from the access log. Then I want to cut the output of what we cut out the access log. So the order of operations do matter when you're doing cuts. They do matter. Then they want us to sort it. So this is going to put it in alphabetical order. That's the sort command is pretty intuitive. And then the unique command is only going to give us unique output. It's going to remove all the duplicates, which should make the list a lot shorter, but it's still pretty long. So let's track forward, display the connection count made on each domain. So this is going to be the same thing, but we're going to add the C option. And if we add the C option and then sort it, it should sort based on whatever's at the beginning, which the count adds it to the beginning. So office.com is apparently the website that gets some of the most traffic. And they want us to sort it again. Why do they want us to sort it again? The result can be sorted again based on a count. But it's already. Oh, we already sorted it by the count. All right. And if you want to make the output appear in a reverse order, you can just add the R flag to it. And if you have multiple flags, you could do something like that, or you could do something like this. Mm-hmm. All right. So it looks like we're only looking for heavy hitters. So in the previous command, instead of printing out all of this, we're really only looking for the top 10. Sometimes you just want to cut the fluff and see what the heavy hitters or the big guys are. So these are the top 10 domains with the most traffic going to them. See, Microsoft owns most of them. So it looks like it wants us to grep and print out the top 5 ones where the domain is suspicious. Let's copy and paste this one. Close that. Paste. Oh no. I be forgetting paste doesn't work like that in here. Alright, so there is no. Oh, so one of these looks suspicious. And the one that looks suspicious is this one. Bing is owned by Microsoft in the Office 360 Office. And Global Sign is for PKI stuff, which is a whole other topic upon itself. So, to copy that, I'm going to hit Control A to jump to the front. Hold down Control D to remove this. Then I'm going to paste. Okay. So all of these are coming from the same IP 10.10.185.225. These are all gets, storage.hdp, goodies. Equals this. So, alrighty. So it wanted us to notice that goodies is a parameter. So now it wants us to figure out what's this all about. So we're gonna use some cuts and some pipes here. We're gonna get rid of the head. We want to go through all of these, and hopefully it's not a disastrous amount. It cut D. We want it to be the equal sign for the delimiter there, and we want the F2, which is going to be the right side of the equal sign only. And This is base 64 coding. We can try to decode the strings by piping the output to a base 64 command. So we're going to do that. We're going to pipe it to base 64D. It's very interesting output here. Not sure what this is. It could be further obfuscation. So I'm curious. I just want to see if that's something even more hidden in the layers. So I'm gonna cut. You see, we have the commas. So I'm gonna make the delimiter a comma, and I want the first field, and then I want to base 64 decode that. Okay, so it's not base 64. All right. Very interesting gobbledygook there. I don't know what that is. Could be a hash, maybe. So how many unique IPs are connecting to the proxy server? So to figure that out, we need to get all the IPs from the log. So IPs is field number 2. So we're going to cut delimiter space. We want field 2 from the access logs. Then we want to sort it. Then we want to get unique with the count. Nine. How many unique domains? So for this one, we'll do something similar. I'm going to hit the up arrow key, and the domains was field 3, I believe, domain import, but it was domain import. So what we're going to do, we're going to add an extra cut command here, and we're going to cut it on that colon, and we want the domain, so that's going to be the first field. 111. What is the status code generated by the least access domain? So we want the least access domain. So we want unique. We'll sort it again. We'll sort it in reverse just to get the lowest number on the bottom. So now that we know it's this here, we going to grep. Copy, paste that. We're going to grep it from the access logs. Then we're going to so we're going to get all the lines where it says it. Honestly, it wants one answer, so they're probably all the same. It's a little bit too much fluff, so we'll cut. We'll just cut for the response code, the status code. Yeah, we want the status code, field 6. So we're gonna cut. The delimiter is gonna be a space. We want field 6. So 503. Based on a high count of connection attempts, what is the name of the suspicious domain? And we had that somewhere. Did not copy and paste that. So let's see. There we go. It's right there. It's frost things dot big bad stash dot thm. It said my answer was correct, but I'm definitely missing that G there. I guess it gave it to me because it was close enough. No way I could have not gotten that close if I didn't know what it was, right? What is the source IP to access the malicious domains? So that was 10.10.185.225. How many requests were made on the malicious domain in the total? So we want the same. We don't want the head. We want to get the word count. Lines. Having retrieved the exfiltrated data, what is the hidden flag? Let's look at one of the lines where we did the base 64 decoding. You know what? This whole thing could be what is the hidden flag? this into here. And from here, we can exfiltrate it out. Bingo. Bongo. If you enjoy doing log analysis, check out the log analysis module in the SOC level 2 path. I've done that path and I liked it. I actually did that path maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after the advent of cyber security challenge and last year. So about 10 months ago, 11 months ago or so. I highly recommend it if you're in the firewall security or anything like that. I would definitely recommend giving it a try. That concludes day number 7 of the Advent of Cyber 2023 walkthrough. I hope I provided some feedback or commentary that maybe helped someone or sparked a light in understanding the task or in their day-to-day just business operations or learning path in general. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll check you out tomorrow. You have a great night.